was staring at this for a while until I figured that it slid open. After a 4-year hiatus after the brand's discontinuation in 2021, we now have an entirely new line of Marc Jacobs Beauty. So if you're hoping for a simple restock of the old 2010 black lacquer sleek packaging, I think you might be disappointed. This new line is a very whimsical, youthful, maximum kind of packaging. And I think the question is, do the products live up to the hype that I have built up in my head for this collection? Welcome back, everyone. So today we have brand new Marc Jacobs, and I'm looking at the packaging, and it is very whimsical. It is very youthful. It is very fun. I would say that if you were to compare, and I picked the black and gold stripe because that was like my favorite Marc Jacobs, to this new bright, looks like, I'm not exactly sure what, like it's very youthful. How's that? It kind of reminds me of the dog balloon work. I can't remember the guy who does it. You know the guy I'm talking about. That's what this reminds me of. So it's not packaging that I hate. I think it's actually very cute and it's well done. I don't think it's my aesthetic. That's the thing. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna use the entire collection today. It's a tight launch. What I mean by that is there are 7 products. There is no foundation and there's no primer. There's a lot of things missing, but I think that makes sense because, you know, this isn't a launch of an entire beauty line. So I think he wanted to, you know, keep it to kind of the core and then move out towards foundations and things. So you have the Drawn This Way liners. I did pick up 2. I picked up a black because black is always, for me, the way when we were trying a new brand, which this is technically. Oh, I always try a black liner because that gives me a baseline kind of to figure out where everything else is. But this is the black glitter liner, so I didn't go exactly black, but you get the gist. And there's a 21 shade range, which is impressive. There's the Born Star eyeshadow, and these are in these very puffy looking. I mean, again, it's well done. Like these are hefty. They're not plastic. I mean, they are plastic, but they're not like, they don't look cheap. They look just, again, it's a different aesthetic. Single eyeshadows designed for high impact graphic looks. So we've got those. We have the Heart On lipstick, a soft shine balmy lipstick formulated patent bold heart motifs. You know, the names might get you guys. I'm gonna have to be careful with some of these. I think most of them will be okay. Joystick, which is a blush stick, a creamy blendable stick. And then we have the Flashes mascara, which has got the little star on. This is a high volume formula designed to mimic the dramatic look of false lashes. We have the bronzer, of course, which is called Legally Bronzed, a smooth powder bronzer, and we'll see how it does next to Omega. I don't have any Omegas left. That's the old bronzer, so I can't like do a direct comparison, but I remember what it felt like. And then Money Shot is the highlighter gel. It's an unexpected jelly textured formula, delivers a wet look glow. I'm telling you, everything is wet and glassy. So what Marc Jacobs had to say about this. I am not interested in one right way to look. Beauty, like fashion, has always been a form of self-expression, rooted in experimentation, play, and reimagining the familiar in new ways. So I think what he's trying to say is, he's going to do things differently. He's always done things differently. He's Marc Jacobs. I mean, that's what it is. And I can live with the packaging being cutesy and all that good stuff if product is excellent. So let's find out. I think the first thing to do is use this Money Shot because I think this is the only product, I believe. No, the mascara. I was about to say, I think this is the only product that doesn't come in different shades, but the mascara just comes in one shade. Okay. All right. So this is, oh, it's like bouncy. Okay. Yeah, it's jelly. Definitely jelly. Okay. It's opalescent. It's not as wet feeling as I thought it was going to be, but it's sparkly, guys. This is the opposite of Quiet Luxury, which isn't bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. All right. So we're going to dot it and then kind of blend it. I am going to use my fingers for this because I think this product would get lost on a brush. We'll see. I mean, I'll keep playing with it. This is our first impressions video. Okay. There is a tremendous amount of glitter on my face. However, it's interesting because if I look straight on, You really don't notice it. It's when I turn. So yeah, this is a product I think that will go absolutely viral for a certain segment. I feel like this is a young person's look. Now, why do only young people get cool glitter? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't see that many 60-year-old women wearing opalescent glitter. So could be wrong. But yeah, I think this is going to be very popular with a younger set. Now, what I will also say is the product itself is good. It does sink into the skin. It's not sticky at all. Like, I don't feel any stickiness. In fact, I can't even feel it on my face. It's actually not accentuating texture. Like, I don't see it going into the texture. It actually looks quite nice. It's just, there's no fallout because it's this cream gel that goes right into the skin. But it is, when you look at it, especially in the 10X, it is opalescent glitter. But it's done in such a way that I have to say, I mean, it's impressive. Like, the formula is impressive. I just wish it was not glitter. I wish it was more luminescence, but I think that's just my style. I think it's a different thing, you know? Okay, the formula though, extremely well done. No lip liners, but he does have these lipsticks. I bought one lipstick, one blush, 2 eyeshadows, one of the bronzers, 2 liners, and the mascara, because I wanted to get a better understanding of like the products before I went and bought every shade. So this is called Heart On. This is Kinky Business number 105. The names. Balmy Feel Lipstick, buildable color, bleed proof, no mirror needed. Powered by cherry oil, hyaluronic acid, and biometric peptides. There's peptides in everything these days. I'm not saying that's bad, it's just fascinating. It's like everyone's just like, oh, peptides. Okay, 18 months. I should have mentioned that the Money Shot, and again, there's only one shade for that, is 6 months, and that's because it's this gel. If you have it, you'll see it's like a very gel. I mean, it's a gel. It's a shimmer gel. So yeah, it's a jelly highlighter. You're not going to want to keep that past 6 months. It does say on here, all over jelly highlighter, shimmery strobosophic effect. But yeah, I agree with that. It does have hyaluronic acid in it. Maybe that's why it feels so comfortable on the skin. Sunk right in, guys. Like, it looks, but it's. So we're gonna try the lipstick. I am using a mirror. That's really nice. No, this formula feels really good. Wow. If you haven't watched me before, and by the way, if you haven't watched me before, hi, my name is Jennifer. I was a makeup artist for Chanel half a lifetime ago. And here on my channel, we do all things luxury. Go down, guys, listen, like, okay, lean in. Go down, hit that subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing. It's totally free. And I promise you'll love it here. We have a lot of fun. So this feels phenomenally good. And I, as I was trying to get to before I went into my little segue, I am a buyer of very expensive Bougie Balmy lipsticks that literally, like, you know, wear off in 5 seconds. Wow, that feels phenomenally good and pretty pigmented for a balmy lipstick. And I really like this color. What did I say it was? 105 Kinky Business. You can see the close up, but let's see if it actually is bleed proof. I've never seen anything bleed proof, but you know what? If anyone could do it, it'd be Marc Jacobs. Now, the Joystick is a balmy blush stick. So all this stuff is balmy. That's not a huge shock, right? We're in the balmy era. Nothing is matte anymore. It's either balmy and glassy or it's suede and soft. Lightweight blush, buildable wash of color, lip and cheeks, so you can use it on your cheeks. Powered by daisy oil and hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid seems to be in everything. This is interesting. All right, so this shade, I have to admit, for some reason I do like the name of this. It's self-centered. So this shade is very much like the lip shade that I picked, which I did do on purpose, but I'm actually surprised that they came out looking similar because when you order things online, it's so hard to tell. The best way to use this, I will die on this hill, is with a synthetic brush. However, I want to see how this works because this is the first time I'm using this product. So we're going to go right on the skin. I do not suggest this. This is not how I would do it. But if you're going to learn how a product works, you got to learn how the product works. So it's not sticky. It's not super emollient, actually. I mean, it's emollient enough for a blush, but it reminds me a little bit of the Westman blush. Like, it's a little, you know, because the Westman blush has like a play in it. Wow, that's actually, it didn't lift the foundation. That looks really nice. You know, sometimes with these blush sticks, they say like the Dior or the new Chanel's, and I'm going to do a whole comparison video. It's coming. The glass look, the dewiness, the emollients. Again, I have dry skin. If you haven't watched me, you don't know that, but I have very dry skin. It is the summer here now, even though it's only June. It's hot and humid, but this is not like those. This is a more powdery formula, which is interesting because it's a cream and it's got hyaluronic acid in it. We're gonna try it with the brush. What I'm trying to get at is this does not leave, and it's buildable. This does not leave that glassy look. This leaves more of that suede, but it feels really comfortable. Like it feels emollient, but it doesn't look too, wow. Oh, I really like this. Marc Jacobs, I have to say guys, his products, the formula was one of my favorite brands back in the day. I liked the packaging too. Next, Legally Bronze. I did get Fair. This is the lightest shade. I did not get more than one. Again, I wanted to test these things out before I spent a fortune. Although I will say the price point of these pieces is actually very reasonable. $26 to $42. So it's much less expensive than say Chanel or Dior. Multitasking Silky Feel Bronzer, lightweight and blurring, natural finish powered by daisy oil. Fluorogopite is the first ingredient in here. That really didn't exist when he was making his original bronzer. This one has 24 months, which makes sense because it's a powder. So here we go. Color's right for me. It does feel very silky. I'm just gonna put it all over because we're gonna test this out. 0.38 ounces, sculpting bronzer. When someone says sculpting bronzer, it leads me to believe that there's enough coolness in it that you can sculpt with it. Let's try a synthetic brush and see what that does. When I say sculpt, I mean, oh yeah. Do you see? Okay. So the difference you're gonna get with something like this, a fluffy natural hair, a synthetic densely packed, this is actually meant for foundation actually. But do you see how that cut, that is a sculpt. And this Fair is actually perfect for my skin. I wouldn't go up from this Fair. Oh yeah, that's a sculpt. Now I'm putting this on a little heavier than I normally would, but I want you to be able to see the shade. I wouldn't put on this much. I would definitely be more subtle, but Marc Jacobs has never been about being subtle, so wow. All right, liners. So far I'm impressed and slightly shocked. All right, so we're gonna use the black liner on the top lash line and then the blue on the lower lash line. I will tell you already, because I have played around with the liners, that it's incredibly soft. I mean, it goes on so easily that you're not gonna have a problem with tugging. Like it's just not, that's not gonna be an issue. You can barely touch your eye as you see me doing here and it goes on. I think the question will be how well it stays on. What I'm doing is just pulling it out a little bit to kind of create a little bit of a wing. That's a really easy way to do a wing. Frankly, put a little extra on the edge of your line and then just go like that with your nails. I've had it on the back of my hand for quite some time now. Microfiber towel. So I can rub it off with the microfiber towel, but again, how often are you rubbing a microfiber towel on your eyelids? But not, I mean, it doesn't go away. 0.04 ounces, 24 months. It's longer than I usually see. Long wear, tug-free eye pencil, absolutely true. One stroke color payoff, absolutely true. Waterproof and suitable for waterline use, stays and never strays. Goes on beautifully. The shade is 280 and then this one is 250 and this one is also a glitter. This one's a metallic. All right, here we go. I'm gonna put it on the waterline so you guys can see how that works. Feels good. Oh wow, this is a pretty color. I think this is the teal. It was between this and the light blue one that he has. Can't remember the name of that one. Next, we'll do the mascara last. The shadow. So the shadows, you know, the old shadows, you had the palettes and you also had single shadows. This is On Brand and Serving. Those were the two that I got. On Brand is 100, Serving is 230. So they're both a cream to powder eyeshadow, smooth and sensorial application. Bold, delivers bold color with easy blendability. We're gonna test that out. 12 months. Let's do the On Brand first. So first of all, I was staring at this for a while until I figured that it slid open. I'm looking at it going, how does this open? I don't understand. Slides open. Oh wow, that's a lot of payoff. Okay. For just, I mean, I didn't really. Now On Brand is, I would say, a neutral brown. And I bought it for that very reason because I felt like it was a shade that would work on a lot of folks. I don't think it would work on somebody who has very deep skin, but I would say if you are, you know, fair, pale, all the way into a medium, you could absolutely, or maybe even a medium deep, because I think you can build this. Blends really easily. No pressure on the brush practically. First of all, this is a great color. Like, it's a really good brown. And that might sound a little strange, but it's, you know, when you're talking like core colors, really good neutral brown, a black, a cream, for most of us that are doing like a basic. But you get what I'm saying, like an everyday look. These are the kinds of shades you tend to use. That's done really well. Blended perfectly. Now we're gonna try the Serving, and this shade is more of that metallic, sparkly shade. Let's look and see how it's described. Wow, a lot of the shades are sold out on Sephora. That's interesting. The matte shade on brand is considered a matte nude. I don't like that description because nude is very subjective. What's gonna look different colors, but it's a good, decent neutral brown. The other shade that I would pick up is Act Natural. It's a matte cinnamon, so it's gonna have a little bit more red. There's a matte burgundy and there's a matte chocolate brown. This is on Sephora. The metallic finishes are almost all sold out on Sephora, like everyone. It's amazing. All right, Serving is sold out on Sephora. This is a pinky nude with iridescent pearls. Like every shade is sold out, guys. I'm gonna use my finger. We're gonna see how this works with my finger. Oh, beautifully. It does look a little like the Money Shot in like its finish. First of all, I mean, that's... Let's take a look at the Marc Jacobs page. Completely sold out, except for the mattes. I mean, I get it. These are beautiful, exceptional. And I have to say, the lipstick hasn't bled yet. So I have refrained from watching any reviews of this because I really wanted to come at it from just my perspective. This was my favorite mascara from Marc Jacobs. It's a very wet mascara. It has a triangle shape, and it's one of my favorite mascaras of ever. This is the last one I own. I just opened it recently to do the video for you guys. This shape is very different. First of all, it's very puffy. It's purple. It's got a star on the top. And the brush is the kind of brush that I tend not to like. The reason is because I poke myself in the eye with these types, because it's that plastic. It's not like a brush. It's plasticky. But we're going to find out. Flash's mascara, volumizing mascara, which I do love. I love a volumizing mascara. It says 12 months, which is amazing because I always throw them out after 6. Buildable volume for instant runway-worthy lashes, clump-resistant and smudge-proof. Yeah, I can use smudge-proof. If this now becomes my favorite brand to use, guys, with the joyful, youthful packaging, oh, that will crack me up. Okay, let's go. Yeah, you're gonna have to be a little more careful because, again, it's like that prickly brush. And then if you're like me, and I have long lashes, so a lot of the time I just sort of go quickly with my mascara because I don't have to be as deliberate. So I poke myself when it comes to these types of brushes. Now, I'm gonna have to see how this wears, and I'm gonna have to see if this really is smudge-proof, flake-proof, you know, all the proofs. However, works really well. This is gonna become my favorite brand, and I'm gonna have to deal with daisies and puffy hearts. Like, I'm not a curmudgeon. I really am not. I'm just not a cutesy person. Like, so that's just not my style, that's all. Like, I Hello Kitty, don't come for me. I love Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty's adorable, but she's not like my aesthetic, okay? That's all I mean. So this reminds me of Hello Kitty. Like, that's what this reminds me of, like Japanese anime. It's very puffy. In fact, I had stickers like this when I was young. Puffy stickers that I used to like stick on my Trapper Keeper. Yes, I am old enough to have had a Trapper Keeper. But the stickers were puffy and I remember loving them. I was also 12. Yeah, this is totally buildable. Totally buildable. Now, if you want a really lengthening separation kind of mascara, this is not it. Because it doesn't clump, but your lashes start to like, because it's so thick when you build it. Well, damn. All right, guys. Well, yeah. Here are my picks and here are my thoughts. Right. This is the best new collection I have tried off the bat, maybe ever. I mean, I'm trying to think like when I first tried Prada, or I first tried Tom Ford, or I first tried Charlotte Tilbury way back in the day. And I had the same kind of response, which was, wow, this will remain in my memory. I will remember the first time I tried the Charlotte Tilbury. At the time, she had like these crayons, pencils for your eyes that basically if you had green eyes, you should do this one. If you had blue eyes, you have, and they were based off of like models, supermodels, and the lipsticks. They were some of my favorite things ever. And I remember that. Like I remember I was in Chicago at a Nordstrom on Michigan Avenue. Like it's burned into my memory. First time I tried Tom Ford Terra bronzer was at Saks Fifth Avenue on Fifth Avenue in New York. And it's burned into my memory, the essay putting it on my face and being like, oh, I look better. Like I very clearly. The first time I tried the Prada products and the first time I tried the Prada foundation, I was like, oh my goodness, this is the first matte foundation I've ever used that actually blended into my skin and like looks fantastic. The first time I tried the Clé de Peau shadows, the new ones that have the primer shade, and at the end of the day realizing that none of the shadow had creased and none of it had moved. This is like that. Look, I don't know how everybody else is going to respond to this or review it because, again, I haven't watched it. But there's nothing here that didn't work exactly like it said it was going to. The lipstick has not bled, and it's a balmy lipstick. And it has not bled, and the color is perfect. And it feels perfectly comfortable. The liners are gorgeous, and they have not moved, and it has not irritated my waterline. The blush, it feels like nothing, and it's light. It just looks phenomenally good. The shadows are amazing. The mascara is the mascara. Look at this. Look at this. The only thing I would say is the Money Shot, the formula is outstanding. I seriously, if you can find this in store, try it on your hand. You don't have to put it on your face. And you'll see what I'm talking about. It immediately sunk in. It didn't feel sticky. It doesn't feel tacky. There's no tackiness on my face at all. It does exactly what it says it's going to do. And it's not actually accentuating my texture. It's just that it's glitter. But this would be a lot of fun for like a girl's night out. This would be the kind of thing you would wear. You know what I mean? Like it's fun. Now, you can wear this all the time. You can wear this to Starbucks. You can wear this to Stop and Shop. It's just not something I would wear all the time because of its nature. It's this opalescent glitter. We used to have a product like this when I was young that you would spray in your hair. I don't know if that still exists. That would look like this. And it did a phenomenal job. It's just not my style. But I gotta say, it looks good for what it is. You do have this Hello Kitty Japanese anime. That's what it feels like to me, kind of packaging. But I mean, okay, it's got its charm. It's not my style, but I mean, so what? The formulas are outstanding. Now all he needs is to bring all the shades back in stock, create a lip liner, or maybe he doesn't need a lip liner, powder, primer, foundation, skin tints, a palette of eyeshadows. Honestly, guys, the bronzer looks phenomenally good. I am thrilled with everything. And I am now disappointed that I can't just order more on Sephora. So please comment below if A, you picked up any of the Marc Jacobs products and what your favorite is and what you didn't like, because I'd love to hear. I mean, for me, the only one I would say I didn't like is the Money Shot, but it's not a knock on the formula or the product. It's just not my product, but I still think it's exceptionally good. All right, can't wait to hear all your comments. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video really soon.